following the football transfer rumours during football's off-season can often be a fun but somewhat tiring experience, mainly because sometimes it's a little hard to differentiate between the rumours that are credible and the ones that are not so credible. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because we here at Sports Today are bringing to you some of the most interesting and credible football transfer rumours that are currently doing the rounds. So let us get through this particular wrap of interesting or juicy football transfer rumor stories, and we're starting of course with this man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, it's no secret at this point that Cristiano Ronaldo wants out of Manchester United. He has reportedly asked the club to accept a suitable offer if it comes their way, and now he's also reportedly going to be missing the first round of pre-season training and the first few fixtures that United will be playing. Obviously not the best of headaches for United to be having right now, especially since they brought in a new manager in Erik ten Hag, and the focus would be on building something for the future. And now they also have the headache of replacing or getting out a player who quite clearly doesn't want to be there. Of course, it's not as easy getting Ronaldo out of the door, simply because United would want some sort of a transfer fee, and B, his wages are enormous. So there are few, if any, clubs who are actually being linked to him, but there are two who have been linked more than most, one of whom is United's Premier League rivals Chelsea, but there's also shockingly Napoli in Serie A. Now, whether or not Ronaldo ends up in either of those sides, or he ends up seeing out his contract, which, lest we forget, is for another year, and he stays at United, that's something that we'll know only once time passes on. But as things stand, the player's stance is very clear. He wants to leave, and there are few clubs who are interested, two of whom would probably be considered the front runners. But moving on from Ronaldo to one of his former Juventus teammates, I am talking about Matthias de Ligt. Now, the Dutch defender is someone who hasn't always been at his top form during his time at the Serie A club, but he has grown a lot as a player, and anyone who's watched Italian football regularly will tell you that not only has his playing ability arguably improved, he's also become more of a leader. And perhaps that explains why it is that the Dutchman is reportedly keen on pursuing a new challenge away from Serie A. Now, Chelsea were again one of the many clubs who were reportedly interested in signing him, but he reportedly is more interested in joining the Bundesliga, and more specifically in joining Bayern Munich. Now, it would make sense in some ways. Remember, Bayern Munich have lost Niklas Süle, and they would be wanting to bring in someone to replace him. But man, talk about an upgrade, because Niklas Süle, good defender, but Matthias de Ligt is seen by many as a generational talent and someone who will be, if he fulfills his potential, in and around the pantheon of all-time great defenders. Bayern could do a lot worse than signing him, and if they actually managed to secure his signature, they'd be sorted not only in domestic competitions, but could very well be a force in European ones as well. And speaking of Bayern Munich, and of course we have to have a talk about this man, Robert Lewandowski. At this point, it's no secret that the Polish striker wants out of the club. He's gone public with that demand many times during the summer in between of the Nations League when it was taking place. He said that a move would be best for everyone and that he's keen for a new challenge, but Bayern are not exactly too keen to sell him to Barcelona. For one, there's one report that's doing the rounds that says that they wanted all the money for Lewandowski in terms of a transfer fee from Barca up front and not in installments, because, get this, they believe that in 2 or 3 years' time, Barcelona will cease to exist. Wow, talk about a burn in many senses, right? But there's also the fact that besides just Barcelona, who have, as we know, remain not only Lewandowski's preferred destination, but the club who seem likeliest to sign him if they can somehow get the money, there's also Paris Saint-Germain, who, lest we forget, have quite the interesting forward line, but it would be the most PSG thing ever if they decided to throw in Lewandowski into their mix of superstar forwards as well. What's more, they could afford his wages, and perhaps more crucially, they would be able to afford any transfer fee that Bayern Munich ask of them, and the same can't really be said about Barcelona as things stand. We know for a fact that their situations are quite perilous, which is why the next rumor that we're going to discuss is actually in existence to begin with. This man, Frankie de Jong, is reportedly, as we know, being pursued by Manchester United. Of course, the move makes sense in some ways because his former Ajax manager Ten Hag is now in charge at Old Trafford, and he's keen to bring the Dutchman to Manchester United. But a new contender has suddenly emerged out of nowhere, because now there are credible news reports saying that Chelsea are also interested in signing him, and what's more, the offer that they might make would be very tempting for Barcelona in some ways, because not only are they willing to stump up the cash, but they're also willing to offer 2 players in exchange to get De Jong, current captain Cesar Azpilicueta, and Marcos Alonso, both of whom are reportedly keen to join Barcelona. Now again, it's a bit of a left of field rumor, because it's suddenly come out of nowhere, but remember, Chelsea are flush with cash, having been recently taken over by an American consortium led by Todd Boehly, and they would be keen to make a signing to strengthen their midfield, because they might have the likes of Jorginho, N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic, but both Jorginho and Kante are currently in the last year or so of their career, of their contracts, so there would be some question marks as to whether or not Chelsea would want to keep both of them or just keep one. So in that sense, signing someone like De Jong, again, the London club could do a whole lot worse than signing him, but where he ends up later on, that's something that only time will tell, because remember, he doesn't seem too keen to move away from the camp now, but the salary he's on makes him one of the highest earners in the club currently, and they could actually benefit from getting his wages off the book, because it would help the Catalan club save a little money. And moving on from one former Ajax prospect to a current Ajax prospect, I am of course talking of Lisandro Martinez. And well, the Argentine international has found himself in a bit of a bidding war between 2 Premier League clubs, and that they are of course Manchester United and Arsenal. Now obviously he could join either club, and it's not really a case of either club currently being in and among Europe's elite, because remember, neither of them are going to be playing in the Champions League this season, but they would be able to offer him good wages, and more importantly, they might just be able to offer a tempting transfer fee for Ajax to actually consider selling him. And if we're talking about a transfer fee, United reportedly made a new and improved bid for Martinez, but again, right now there's still plenty of talk linking him to Arsenal, saying that he might be interested in joining the Mikel Arteta revolution, as it were. So where exactly he ends up, that remains to be seen. Of course, it could very well be possible that another club waltzes in and decides to offer him something that neither of these 2 clubs can currently afford to offer him. Whether or not that happens is something that we'll only know as the transfer window wears on. That hasn't quite ended yet, because remember, there's still a while for the transfer window to slam shut. But this is the end of this particular video. So as always, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you enjoy what it is that we do, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, leave us a comment below. Believe you me when I say we do read what it is you tell us. Sometimes, in fact, gives us ideas for new videos as well. So who knows, maybe something you tell us might just be seen on this channel in form of a new and interesting video. And if you enjoy showering us with love, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon so that you know each and every time it is that we're going live or uploading a new video. As always, thank you once again for joining us. I've been Shane Dias, and I'll be with you guys again very soon. Bye bye.